All right, welcome once again to the beatzillapdx official show. This is a news break, of course, as we are doing here, as the format has recently changed up, as you guys know. And you're getting more of these stories that are direct and to the point. So, with that being said, as you're watching this live, please do me a big favor, hit the thumbs up button, hit that like button, share this out on your social media, subscribe if you have not already subscribed to this channel, hit that notification bell, hit the word all, that way you'll be notified anytime this channel goes live or a video is uploaded. Also, you can become a member of this channel as well. And as the members of this channel could tell you, as we have changed up the format and as the format of this broadcast is changing, being a member will allow you to actually see videos before they air on the channel. So they'll air in the members only section first, and then they will be offered up to the public for public consumption. So, with that being said, shout out and salute to everybody tuning in right now. As you see, we have something to talk about on the screen. This article came across my timeline today, ladies and gentlemen. And we're right here as we're starting off May, as we just ended off New Black Media Appreciation Month. We are starting off on the upward tick of the presidential election season, or should I say presidential selection season. But anyway, to reduce black, and this is the headline as y'all see on the screen, to reduce black on black crime, two criminal justice experts explain why offering monthly stipends to people at risk makes sense. Well, see, we already understand that reparations would have alleviated all of our poverty issues, which in turn um, is the reason that crime, poverty breeds crime. So if the people who built this country didn't stay in perpetual poverty, then that would change things greatly. Um, and you don't have to label it at risk, because again, this group is underserved and has not gotten what they are due. So this is a byproduct of America not fulfilling its promise to its descendants of chattel slavery. Anyway, reading on, after a historic spike in homicides in 2020, murder rates in most U.S. cities appear to be returning to pre-pandemic levels. This drop has sparked some public attention, as demonstrated during a meeting of police chiefs in February 2024 at the White House. Interesting. Who heard about that? During the meeting, President Joe Biden lauded investments made in law enforcement and community anti-violence initiatives during his administration. In 2023, Biden said the U.S. had one of the lowest rates of all violent crimes in more than 50 years. And I want to say something to that. That has absolutely nothing to do with police or Joe Biden's administration. This is absolutely coinciding with Black intelligent thought becoming more prevalent. This political discourse that we have, the Black grassroots, they don't want to give any credence or attention to Black folks alleviating the violence out of our community ourselves. They're trying to find some way to latch on to something that was completely maneuvered in-house. But nonetheless, let's hear more from the outsiders. And if you guys watch my previous broadcast about the propaganda that the Democrats will pay for, well, here we go. But the most striking fact about homicide in the U.S. has been largely overlooked during such meetings. Black Americans are murdered at nearly 8 times the rate of white Americans. Young Black men in inner cities are disproportionately affected. They are both the primary victims and perpetrators of gun assaults and homicides. Now, this is kind of ironic considering how we're funding so much of Israel right now. But some of these tactics that were done to black folks were done to them. And they how did they know to do them? Because they were done to us first. That's where the ghetto comes from. The ghetto actually comes from them using that tactic against the Polish Jews that were over there and during the Holocaust. And so that was what they did. So, always never look at America as it's something new. You might want to just look at it's revamped. You feel me? This grave reality does not mean black people are inherently violent. Of course, it doesn't. Instead, it largely reflects their disproportionate experience of systematic or systemic barriers, such as poverty and limited access to quality education, good jobs, and affordable housing. All factors that research shows contribute on neighborhood violence. Well, okay, again, reparations would serve that purpose. And this is literally making the argument for reparations. But look at what they're trying to do. They're trying to go into this people at risk conversation. You know what that means? You know what people at risk means? That means everybody. And that ain't what this is about. If you're going to say black on black, then we don't need to talk about at risk. We could talk about black. Period. So watch for the switcheroo. Making matters worse are the high rates of illegal gun possession among young men in urban areas. What? No, there's illegal gun ownership all across America. And most of these mass deletions that happen out here by these white people are legal gun owners. So they're doing it with legal weapons that they probably shouldn't have gotten because they already should have been on a watch list. And in some cases, some were. But they still got their guns because they had the complexion for the protection. Let's just keep it 1,000. Bet you want to throw black men. So this is, see, the illegal gun possession among young men in urban areas. That type of talk right there puts targets on black men's backs. This behavior is often driven by reasons beyond criminal intent and include distrust of the legal system and the perceived need for self-protection. Wait a minute. Why would we have a perceived need of protection and there's gun stores galore that aren't owned by black folks? Why did Kyle Rittenhouse have his weapon in Kenosha? Why are these people? See, you see what we're saying? Philando Castillo, he had his weapon, legal gun owner, and got shot for it. Got taken up out of this earth, off this, and sent to the spirit realm for legally having his gun. Let's go to another person who shares the birthday week with me, Breonna Taylor, whose birthday is a day after mine. Breonna Taylor was a first responder, an EMT. EMTs have close relationships with law enforcement and fire. They're all first responders. In her situation, all they did was try to besmirch that young woman as if she was not a certified first responder. Breonna Taylor, first responder, deleted in her house by cops who shouldn't have been there, had to dirty up the warrant to get there. What we never looked at, and I always talk about, is the fact that EMTs are very much known to police. So there is not going to be a random EMT in Louisville that sits up there not being known by the same cops who are showing up to her house. That's insane to believe. To be quite honest, that is absolutely insane. Let's go on. This behavior is often driven by reasons beyond criminal intent to include distrust of legal system and a perceived need for self-protection. Right, I read that. And that's not a perceived need. There is, if anybody has a need in this country for self-protection, it's black folks. More people walking around with weapons raises the risk for minor disputes escalating into deadly encounters. Studies revealing a connection between increased gun carrying and a rise in gun related fatalities highlight the dangers of ready access to guns. See, this is a line to say, hey, black men, before you guys start getting wise, why don't you start consider disarming? In the midst of seeing all, you are the number one group at a disproportionate amount of a sizable number of being the victims of anti-black violence, and you have a perceived need for self-protection. And more men, the more guns you have, black men, you know it just brings trouble. And you see these folks over here running to the gun stores. These people who are feeding you this, family, what do we say? Power tools. And they are telling you, oh, no, 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 no. See, y'all can't be arming yourselves now. You just need to go ahead and let them people protect you. No, sir. This is coon talk right here. Studies revealing a connection between increased gun carrying and a rise. Man, get out of here. Being readily available. That's just crap. Limits of tough on crime policies. Oh, you don't say. To be clear, keeping Americans safe requires arresting and locking up dangerous offenders. Oh, like super predators. Okay, well, it's more of the same, isn't it? But the problem of street violence transcends punishment strategies that emphasize more police, more enforcement of petty crimes, and ultimately more incarcerations. Of course, that's targeting the black community, isn't it? Such traditions, tough on crime responses, fail to address deeper social issues and unwritten rules like the street code. The street code and the elusive American dream, dictating daily life in many inner cities. These people have been priced out and have been targeted for financial deprivation by the government that now is talking about and then funds the police to go deal with them. Y'all better pay attention to how they run this scam. Law enforcement in this country is a scam. It is an anti-black device and nothing less. The street code discourages police cooperation. Of course it does, because police are race soldiers. So you shouldn't be cooperating with an open-ended enemy. There's no people go take that profession to go target black people for violence. Let's just keep it 1,000. It's not something else. It never was. It's never been meant to be anything else. Oh, see, listen to this. The street code discourages police cooperation and glorifies guns and violence as ways to resolve conflicts and gain respect. At the same time, the code encourages intimidation and swift retaliation against perceived threats or insult. See, why are they now all of a sudden taking gang culture and saying it's guns and black folks? Are y'all paying attention to the wording they're using here? They're basically trying to say all black folks who think about being gun owners have the mind state of young, ignorant, dumb gang members. How grossly irresponsible is this? Let's see. For many people in underserved community, oh, there we go. Generational poverty and limited opportunities for upward mobility make crime a viable alternative to a system that seems rigged against them. Are you kidding? Man, this is some stereotypical BS if I've ever heard it. This is a broad brush of just the black community as a whole. Where this is how it happens when they want guns, and you want to get them good ones that don't want guns. That's what this type of mess is. This is insane. Let's see. When people are presented with few legitimate economic prospects, studies show that some turn to crimes such as drug dealing and theft. Oh yeah, that's only relegated to the black community, though, right? Although blacks ain't bringing fentanyl over here by the caseloads, and also meth bust. That's not black folks. So here we go again with the good black folks and drug addicts and junkie pivot. Despite being classified as nonviolent offenses, those involved frequently use violence to establish dominance or settle disagreements. What are we talking about? Are we talking about The Wire? Are we talking about The Wire now? This is crazy. Like, oh man, they're gonna use some guns and they're gonna intimidate somebody. They're gonna be big and black and bold, and they're gonna come through and they're gonna show you people. Stop. As scholars of criminal justice, one of us is also a former police officer of 10 years. Okay, you're a good race soldier of 10 years, even although you were black, doesn't matter. We have found that one way to reduce crime and its harmful effects on communities is to develop strategies for at-risk individuals that offer a range of mental health and other professional services, including a monthly stipend. It is no coincidence that young black men or young black males who are most at risk of gun violence also have the lowest chance of escaping poverty. See, when we're talking about things like this, we all of a sudden people start forgetting how we got here. Black people didn't wake up one day and poverty was upon us. That's not how it happened in America, family. So we have to make sure we stay on this wave and this move and our square that we are on right now, ladies and gentlemen, because these people right here, this is some more okey doke. And let's see, it goes to say, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, 54% of black men born into poorest households end up in the lowest earning bracket between the ages of 28 and 35, compared with 22% of white men, 29% of white women, and 34% of black women. That tells you that black men are targeted, because what you're trying to say is black men have some kind of inherent mental disorder that oh, we just want poverty, we want violence, we just want to lay up. That's basically saying black men is all Pookie and Ray Ray. That's what we're hearing right here. That's garbage, family. Such grim prospects, along with the relatively small group of offenders driving community violence, highlights the importance of targeted, holistic interventions. Cash incentives is the next line. There is one approach that cities can consider: cash allowances for young black men at greatest risk of committing gun violence. Community-based initiatives like Advance Peace, a nonprofit agency focused on anti-gun violence, are addressing the economic pressures behind the street violence and demonstrate the potential of providing people with a guaranteed payment, with guaranteed payments each month. What does that sound like, family? This sounds like what we're hearing is the problem that we're under is the reason, or is because of the economics that has not been there. So, meaning, had reparations actually been put in place in America for foundational Black Americans, we probably wouldn't even be seeing this gun violence thing they're talking about in our community at all. There's something to think about. Shoot, I've been going this whole time without having my banner on. Get that banner cracking. Here we go. I'm actually in StreamYard Studio for this one. And I hope y'all like the audio on the other ones. I'm using a different mic for some of these videos. This is the mic. This is the studio mic I'm on right now. But I hope y'all enjoy the sound, and the sound is cool on the other videos as well. With that being said, reading on. Launched in Richmond, California in 2009, Advance Peace receives its funding from city contracts, federal grants, and private donations. Its its program offers participants as much as $1,000 monthly for up to 9 months. This stipend is conditional on meeting goals intended to steer them away from crime and violence, such as completing educational courses or finding jobs. To address underlying emotional and behavioral issues, participants are also connected with the round-the-clock mentorship by staff counselors for at least 18 months. Other services include cognitive behavioral therapy to help manage aggressive and impulsive tendencies associated with violence. In addition, gang rivals are paired together during sponsored trips to foster dialogue and humanize one another. That ain't bad. In California cities implementing advanced peace, such as Richmond, Sacramento, and Stockton, shootings decreased from 2018 to 2021, and the overwhelming majority of participants have avoided both gun violence and new arrests. Let me explain something to you right there, and I'm gonna take a pause because I think pretty much we've gotten the gist of this story. There's a little more to this story, but I just I'll stop right there because I can give you my own personal testimony when it comes down to participating in our community and putting an end to recidivism. And again, some of the things we do, they are thankless, but you do them because it's number one, it's the right thing to do, but you do it because you have the heart to do so. And one of the things that, I was presented with the opportunity to do was to pen a curriculum, or not really a curriculum, more of a life help guide of ending recidivism and shaving recidivism down. Also, as well as dealing with, the Going Home Project. For those of y'all who don't know, like when I came home, the person who picked me up was Mike Fesser. For those of you who don't know who he is, he's a brother from here who has done things before, and that he wasn't proud of, and had to go down and do some time along with a few folks, and this came back out and contributed to society. And when I say that he went down, family, there is a show right now produced by 50 Cent called BMF. So if anybody knows anybody we're old enough to know the hustlers and the players for real, we knew these people in real life, not on TV, and not recharacterizations of folks. So needless to say, one of them people, if you saw one of the, I believe it was last season, the very beginning, they're at a dinner and they're busting in getting Terry in the Midwest. They busted him out. Well, this brother just so happened to be one of those brothers at that meal. And so that's what I'm saying. He came and got me, and he has the program called Going Home Too. This is a reentry program for us. It is uniquely specific, tailored primarily at Black incarcerated men to aid them into re-emerging themselves into society, getting reacclimated into life, and putting an end to the recidivism that has them going on the carousel of crime. So these are the things that I personally have been fortunate to be part of. So shout out to that. And then also with the African American program that they have here as well. So there are programs here. And so when I say it is literally the community that, because of all of our experiences, we're coming back and we're doing things with our own. This has nothing to do with no democratic policies changing anything. This has nothing to do with anybody's politics. This is about the family. And the family came together and said, enough is enough. We have to take this thing on for ourselves. These are our folks, and we are the only people who really can show the true compassion necessary to help heal our folks. So, family, with that being said, this is another con job by the Democrats. It's literally, I don't even know why they put Joe Biden in the mix. Joe Biden shouldn't even be in this screenshot, but he's at this is how they led with this article, as you see. But the truth of the matter is, reparations, and this is going on in California. How much see, this should be the conversation for reparations, not turning it into some at-risk youth in gun violence by way of giving people monthly stipends. No, you give folks reparations and then let that change. This approach is trying to change that reparations conversation because reparations is lineage based. This is talking about at risk. Now, primarily Black, but what we also know that gets tricky. So just be mindful of all of these different things and make sure that these things are lineage specific when we start talking about how this money is going to get dealt and people want to start using the Black situation to further their own thing. We ain't with that. That ain't what I'm doing here. And I'm sure that's not how y'all want to be represented out here either. So with that being said, if anybody is out here thinking they're going to put these fools on us, and you're going to sit over here and start coming over here to basically enter into a reparations conversation, first off, let me tell you, hashtag hands off our reparations.
You have no rights here. We're not under the empire.
And secondly, if you think that our reparations movement will be hijacked, let me tell you, I speak for myself, beatzillapdx, beatzillapdx official show. Those of you in the chat, the grassroots, voices in new Black media, I'm sure I speak for all parties involved when we proudly dedicate this song to you, backstabbing, treacherous bootlicks.
Get up off of that cocaine and get up off of that crack. Get yourself together and get your mind back.
Yes, indeed, family. This has been a beatzillapdx official news break. You can go ahead and follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at beatzillapdx. You can email me at ourrealtruth@gmail.com. And if you feel so inclined to support this broadcast, you can do so by way of donation at CashApp, $beatzillapdx. That's CashApp, $beatzillapdx. Also, we have PayPal, which is Zilla Music. That is ZILLAMUZAK at PayPal. And so with that being said, family, we are about to make our exit out of here. And I hope that y'all have a wonderful evening. And we will see you on the next go around, ladies and gentlemen. Stay Black, stay vigilant, stay alive. Black first, Black first, Black first. Shalom, y'all.